My project is on women game developers. And let's start with some history, shall we? The very first programmer was a woman. Around the age of 17, Ada Lovelace met Charles Babbage. She became fascinated with Charles Babbage's anatomical engine and published a series of notes on programming it, which was used as the template of the very first computer program nearly 100 years later. A large portion of the first programmers during World War II were indeed women. Not only were they involved in assembling and programming the first electronic computer, the ENIAC, the number of women studying computer sciences were growing faster than the number of men. In 1967, Cosmopolitan magazine wrote an article called The Computer Girls. The article discussed how programming was a woman's job and how it seemed so natural. The very first female game developer was Carol Shaw. She started her job career at Atari in 1978. The very first game Carol Shaw designed was a game called 3D Tic-Tac-Toe for the Atari 2600. The game, similar in concept to the traditional tic-tac-toe, but is played in a cubic array of cells, usually 4x4x4. The first player to achieve 4 of their own markers in a row wins. In the late 1980s, advertisers decided to market computers and video games to men and boys using the male game. And things were just never the same since.
If you want to play the Nintendo Entertainment System. Now you're playing with power.
It's not the size of your howitzer, it's what you do with it.
I got this pole in a 360 stalefish.
I know you like that. I know you love that.
It's all about the control.
You are so totally whipped.
Come and play with me.
A boys' club means no girls allowed. And how do they keep women and girls out? By creating an environment that is too toxic and hostile to endure.
Currently, we enter the world of online gaming, where men feel they can say anything and not get repercussion for it.
Get the f*** back in the kitchen and take your goddamn hands off a fucking video game controller. Fucking stupid bitch.
Usually I avoid mentioning gender, which makes it a lot more enjoyable. But it's kind of sad to think that if you say, oh, if you check because when they say, are you male or female? If you check female, sometimes you get a lot of hackers and spammers and people saying weird things, even though they know nothing about you and don't have a photo of you or anything.
These sexist, misogynistic comments can be very discouraging for females to want to get into the world of gaming.
And so I think in a lot of cases, men are finding that space is being encroached upon, and they're afraid of that.
That say, you know, this is the reason why I don't play online. This is the reason why I stopped playing online. And it just brings me so much like hope and comfort to know that other girls are going through the same thing, and it really empowers them to not hide online or not let what they hear online detract them from gaming.
In the community of gaming, we have the stereotype.
Number 1, we are ugly. Number 2, we are fat. Number 3, we are sluts who like to send naked pictures of ourselves to complete randomers over Xbox Live.
Females are not gamers, so if they claim to be, they must be fake. They must be saying this for attention.
If you're wondering why people don't take gamer girls seriously, this is exactly why. You have too many fake chicks posing as if they are gamer girls. But yeah, this chick's totally hot. The problem is she's more concerned with her body posture than she is the actual game she's playing. That is assuming she's actually playing, and her boyfriend didn't just say, hey babe, you know what'd be hot? As if you pose like you're actually cool and play video games.
Very frustrating to have to literally prove that you're a gamer because you have tits.
In 2009, the mobile gaming company Zynga launched the game Farmville, which unleashed an untapped market for adult female gamers. Now we have 48% female gamers and 52% male gamers.
And at its peak, roughly 1 in 4 people on Facebook were playing Farmville. This was by and large the era of social games. If the Wii proved that grandparents wanted to play games, Facebook proved that a middle-aged mom could spend just as many hours on them as the prototypical 18-year-old boy. Farming games, restaurant managers, and city builders became ubiquitous.
Females like games that are construction and management simulation, where you build and create. Chelsea Howe is a developer at EA Mobile, and she developed Facebook games like Family Guy, The Quest for Stuff, and Simpsons Tap Out. Those games, you build your own city based off the show.
So my name is Chelsea Howe. I'm currently a creative director at EA Mobile, and I make games. So I played games all my life. Event that kind of brought our family together. We always loved kind of on weekends hanging out in the basement playing video games, which sounds a little bit terrible, but it was one thing that kind of brought us all together.
Women developers tend to design games that have puzzles. Siobhan Reddy created games like Little Big Planet and Tearaway, which are platform games that have puzzle elements that you have to solve.
Girls will make it more friendly and more like visual and happy instead of like just gun games and dark and gloomy.
Okay, game on.
Men create and are more prone to play games that are first-player shooters. Games where you blow stuff up and smack talk. From 2010 to 2013, the top-grossing game is called Call of Duty, where it simulates you fighting during different wars in history. In this industry, less than 4% of women are game developers. Most females get discouraged to learn about development from experiences.
Imposter syndrome is something we have all fought against and continue to fight. It is only worsened by the stigmas that exist in the game industry. When I explained that I do everything on the project but art and sound, I've been met with the question, so who does the programming? I've been beaten down by my own doubts, and they nip at my heels when someone sneers at me and makes a comment that feeds into my fears.
There's some very good statistics, some done here at Stanford, that show that when women don't succeed at first, they blame themselves, and men blame the course or the test. So that a woman who gets a B+ thinks she's doing horribly, and a man who gets a B+ thinks they're doing fine.
Coding camps for kids and foundations for women are encouragement. This atmosphere would teach more women so the numbers will be even and fair in the future.
That I founded in April 2011, really based on this need that I saw to get girls from underrepresented communities involved and interested in technology at a young age.
Our group, there's Code Liberation Foundation. We have a small little community of women that make games, and that's been really awesome. We're building up slowly. We've taught about 500 women last year in 147 hours of free classes.
I didn't realize that there was such a big gender gap in technology. Girls seem to be afraid to step up and take that challenge.
Even if you've been told that you can't, you definitely can.
Coding's like a superpower.
Girls can do anything.
Yes, girls can.
And we can change the world.